Hello, my name is Penny and this is Penny's Art Emporium, and today I would like to do quite a large swipe painting, something a little bit different. I've got a large canvas which is 50 centimetres by 60 centimetres, and I want to have a kind of a horizon line in the middle, which would have a lot of the blue topaz, the silver and the gold. And then I would like on either side of the horizon line to have a mixture of poured on colours. So for the top section I want to have some of this baby blue, lots of Amsterdam white, a bit of silver, a bit of blue topaz, all in that top section. And then in the bottom section I would like to have some of this sage green and this sand colour mixed with the white. And then what I'd like to do is dot on just here and there some of these really bright kind of accent colours, so the fluorescent pink, fluorescent orange, this nice iridescent turquoise and the Payne's grey. Just to dot them on in places, and then I want to swipe over with my paper towels and we'll see what we come up with. I think it'll be very interesting. It'll certainly be something a little bit different, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's see what happens. I just thought I would show you how I'm mixing up the two separate colours that I'm going to pour onto the painting before I swipe over. So this one is going to be for the top, which is the colours that I mentioned earlier, some bluey colours. And then this one is going to be for the bottom, which are kind of goldy sandy colours. So it's going to be a different kind of idea for a swipe. I just wanted to put the mixed colours on first before I swiped over it. It's just an idea that I had in my head, and I just wanted to see how it works really. So I just thought I'd show you how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to layer the paints into these trays. I'm just going to scoop them on and then swipe over it. I really like layering the paints like this for all the different kind of techniques that I do. I find that it's quite a good way to get a mix of colours, and I just like the effect that it has. So that's really just what I wanted to show you. And once I've got them all in, I will just shake the container a little bit, which isn't quite the same as stirring it, because you'll still have the colours in there separately, because they don't just all mix in. But then when I pour it on, I think it should be quite interesting. It's also quite a good way to use up any little bits of colours that you might have left in your pots that you don't want to just discard. So I just thought I would show you that. I will put the colours on, and I think I will probably do that on hyperlapse, because I think it will take a little bit of time and it'll be more interesting for you to watch if it's not in real time. So there you are. as it is. I always think that. And then I think, I could just leave it like this. And it is actually quite nice. But I am going to do a swipe because that is what my intention was. So I have put some white with Amsterdam white with Floetrol across the top and also across the bottom. And I'm going to swipe that with a paper towel. Now none of these paints have got any silicone in. Just get any air bubbles out. Now, I haven't put any silicone in these paints because I quite like it without. I don't really like the cells that come up. I'm just looking to see if there's any areas that are a little bit sparse at all, and there is one or two. So I think I might just add a little bit of colour to any little area that looks a little bit sparse. I use blue topaz because that is always a lovely colour. A little bit sparse there. So I think that's got any little areas. But it does look nice as it is, I have to admit. So now I'm going to get my paper towel. I'm going to use the edge that is not serrated, and I'm going to spray with water on my paper towel. And I'm just really going to pull it downwards. And I guess this will be the thing that I will see whether I should have just left it or not. But I just thought this might be interesting to do, and I plan to swipe it one way and then swipe it back the other way afterwards, and just see how those colours all blend together. So that is one. I'm going to use a new piece of kitchen towel each time, and then that way it won't be dirty at all. I did also learn, and I took off my turntable today because I've learned that my turntable for swiping is a really bad idea because the whole painting just swivels. So my idea was that because the really bright fluorescent colours were under there, that they would just shine through a little bit. And they certainly do. I am going to take it back through the other way as well. There, so that has got that going one way. And then I plan to turn it around. I think I'll put some more Floetrol there and go back down the other way. I am going to turn it around because I find that for me it's better if I swipe in one direction. And then after I've done that, I will put the torch on it and we'll see what we come up with. I think I might put a little bit of just the Amsterdam white with Floetrol and water just on this edge because it's looking a bit bare, and by the time that swipe goes over it, that'll be fine. The colours will go over the top. So I will put a bit more of the Floetrol and Amsterdam white just along this top edge. Just so that it will skim over the top of the other colours. Yeah, so that's just pulling some of those colours up to the top. Whereas if you see on the other side, where I've only done the bottom half, there's a lot of white still. Whereas that makes it a bit more even. So I'm hoping that when it's finished there'll still be quite a concentration of colour in the middle, and then those edges just having a little bit less colour. And then if I want to add anything I can in the middle. Right, here we got this section. I found that the paper towels to swipe with was a lot more successful than when I've tried with the plastic folder card. I found that the plastic folder card left quite a bit of air bubbles, and it wasn't very successful really. Whereas the paper towel, I find, seems to drag along quite nicely and doesn't leave big gaps. There. Another thing I will do as well, actually, again from experience, I have learnt that it's quite a good idea, if possible, I do it? I don't know. She's thinking aloud here. Right, I will get, I think actually a plastic. This is just a swipey tool that I made. And I'm just going to swipe the side of the painting. Because I found that when you hang them, if you haven't swiped the sides, it doesn't kind of match the rest. And although most people aren't looking at the sides, they're looking at the front, I just think it's nice for it to be even. My hesitation was what tool to use to swipe it with. I wasn't sure whether to just use another piece of kitchen roll that was already used or to go for something different. But this is working fine. There. So I'll get my torch and hopefully some little colours will come through from underneath. Like I say, I haven't used any silicone, but even without the silicone, some different colours should come through. Little area here that I will just take my swipey tool over, I think. Maybe I need a smaller swipey tool. I have made quite a few swipey tools and I do find them quite handy. That's better. It was just a tiny little dot that didn't quite work. So I'm going to leave that to settle and then I'm going to decide whether I'm going to put any more in the middle. So I'll turn the camera off for now and tidy my edges a little bit and go from there. Here is this painting, all finished. It's had time to settle and it's just drying now. And there's some really lovely little areas in here. I just love that area with those lovely little cells, all those different colours there. And that centre line has got the concentration of colours in there, which is what I wanted it to be. And when it dries, those metallic colours will be really nice. And you can see the fluorescent pink and the fluorescent orange in there, but it is very subtle with those very bright colours. And the Payne's grey, I think you just needed that just to make a contrast, really. So yes, I think it's very interesting because it's a very subtle painting, but I also think it's very interesting. So I will let that dry and I will let you see that when it's dry as well. So bye for now. So today we have Itzy who has come to join us to have a look at this painting. So here it is. I decided that this way up would be better, which is the way that you looked at it when it was being made, and it is all dry now. That centre horizon line has got those nice metallic colours coming through and more of a concentration of colour, which is what I wanted. And you can see that shimmer of the metallics just coming through a little bit, which is nice, and the nice mixture underneath the swiped over colours there. And I particularly like this area. That has been my favourite area all the way through, really. It was nice the way all those colours came through when the painting was just left to settle for that little bit. So I'm going to live with this for a little while, and then I will decide whether I might want to embellish it a little bit more by adding some gold leaf, which I have got in different colours, not just in gold. But I'm going to live with it for quite a long time before I decide on that. I also did that with another painting, and I decided to leave it as it was. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.